do it, I'ma overdone it. And you gon' need a plumber when the boca start running. I'm an anime lover, South Park babe hunter. A Pokemon trainer if you wanna train something from the middle to your waist button. They say I talk too much, but I just tell them you ain't saying nothing. Man, this one is for the DJs who keep the speakers playing something. Now pass it on like a brand muffin.
Welcome to another episode of Conversations with Roberto. Today's special guest, the one and only motherfucking Carlos Coleman.
Yeah.
What's up, brother? How you doing, man? I'm so excited to have you here for many reasons, right? The history that we have.
Tight.
Just the shit that you're doing. It's just like, it's like a full circle moment. And I got you here, and I'm super stoked to have you on here. Please tell the people who you are.
Yes, sir. As he said, you know, my government, Carlos Coleman and shit. But I go by Oso, I go by Los, whatever you want to call me. I am photographer, videographer. My, primary things that I get into is concert work and, celebrity, lifestyle. And, you've been following me. Some of y'all have been following me. I've been doing like a lot of lifestyle content and shit right now too. So, travel content. So, travel, country, shit like that. But yeah, bro.
Okay.
That's pretty much what I've been on, man.
No, for sure. At some point in time during this, I'm going to post some of his work so you guys can just see how fucking sick the work is, right? Like the shit is, words can't even explain how dope the shit is, right? And it's just, and I'm just happy that I know somebody that is equally, if not doper, than me at certain shit. And this dude right here is,
I appreciate that.
The truth, right? Actually, I was on his podcast / vlog, like one of the first episodes. And I was interviewed by you and Brendan. Shout out Brendan. Shout out or Be
Yes,
Easy.
sir.
That's my dog.
Shout out to Big 38.
So it's a full circle moment that I got you here. And let's dive right into the shit,
Sir,
bro.
man.
Okay.
Talk to me.
So what's the moment that you knew you were meant to be a creator?
Ironically, what's today? The second.
Is the third now.
The third. Not sure when it's going to drop,
midnight-ish.
but ironically, what started off was my first gig originally. I was working with Cheese.
Shout out Cheese.
When I had moved back to Vegas, I moved back from Vegas. I was like, man, I'm trying to dibble and dabble, and I was like, you know what? He had posted like this flyer for the show that he was opening up for the baby, and I was like, oh shit. I ain't got none of that shit under my belt to be able to say I got X and Y, Z credentials for you, so you should book me. So I was like, hey, bro, you need a photographer to do the show. He was like, oh, I've already got one. You know what I'm saying? It was Marcus. Shout out, non-flexible.
Oh, yeah, Mark.
And me not trying to replace him, but I was just like, fuck it, bro. Like, let me pull up and I'll shoot it for free. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I was like, and he was like, oh, I bet, pull up. So I ended up pulling up, you know what I'm saying? I was, 3-4 days before I was on, Google, like, how do you shoot a concert? What lenses should you use? What's the best settings? Blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, and I get there, they like, man, you got a flash? And I was like, no, I don't got no flash. You know what I'm saying? I work on, Cheese tell it all the time. I work on natural light. Plus, I hate flash. I
love natural lighting.
I love natural lighting. And obviously, inside a concert space, that was a poor choice of words. But
not if you got the right lens with the right aperture. You can
type shit.
You got to get the Sony game
in there.
Man.
Man, my Canon cool, man. And then we end up shooting, and then I end up, it was history from there. And it's funny because I was talking to Marcus like 3 months after that, and he was like, bro, you really don't be editing your photos and stuff? Because at that time, I didn't care about the post process. I was like, I need to make sure these photos are so dialed that when I take this SD card out and I put it in my phone or my laptop, I can hit post. And that's kind of like where my mindset was when I first started. Obviously, now I play with so many different colors and so
you
many
got
different
to
shit. But and he was like, bro, that was your... And I told him, I was like, yeah, bro, that was my first show. He was like, what? That was your first show? And I was like, yeah. I was like, bro, I ain't know shit about concerts then, bro. And it was, I don't know, bro. In that day, I was like, damn, this is dope.
This is dope. Nice. Dope.
And then the solidifying moment really was later that year. I hit up the G Code. Shout out Gabe. Nas manager, and I tapped in. I was like, hey, bro, like, I'm not sure how the tour going, but if y'all need to book a extra hand, I'm available to be booked right now. And I was like, oh yeah. He's like, yeah, let me talk to the tour manager, blah 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 blah. And then I was at work. It's funny story because I forgot about the show, and I was like, "Damn, I'm at work." And I told my my manager at the time, like, "Yeah, I work late," and I'm reaching out. I'm reaching out to everybody. Then Gabe finally let me know, like, "Hey, you know what I'm saying, you good to go? We booking you and go shoot Nas." And I was like, "What, bro?" A raw emotion. I'm calling everybody on my phone, nobody picking up, and I called my pops, bro. And I remember when he picked that phone up and he said hello, and then I just started crying, bro. And I was just like, God damn, like, I'm telling my pops, like, there's somebody who he grew up on.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm booked, bro, and I'm doing this show, bro. And I'm telling him, like, I can't believe it. And he like, man, I'm so proud of you, blah, 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 blah. Kind of making me emotional right now because I was
no. That's a
solidifying moment.
That's a moment that you you remember that forever.
For sure. And then, and then after that, 2019 was really the solidifying year to, where we at right now.
Okay, fuck yeah, I like that. That's fucking awesome. I didn't know those details.
Type shit.
Yeah, I mean, from when we met, right? We met years ago.
I didn't even.
Yeah, bro, you wasn't even off that shit,
nope.
bro. I forgot how old you were when we met.
18.
Okay, you were still a baby. Yeah. For those that don't know, you're from Grand Rapids, right? Okay, some people be like living in Grand Rapids and not from there, but so Grand Rapids it's a bigger city. It's not as big as like Detroit, but they got Tanger Outlets, which was a big fucking deal at the time, right?
For sure.
And
monumental.
Yeah, and then they had a Nike factory store or a Nike. Yeah, it's a Nike factory store. And I remember applying there and getting a job there, and met the rest of the crew that worked in the footwear department. And shit, Lowe's was one of those people that was there, and
I was begging to get in footwear. They wanted me in the back so bad, bro.
Yeah, back of house, fuck them. Also, but yeah, we pretty much got tight from just working together and just, sneakerheads are friends with other sneakerheads. So we just got cool, and just over the time, like I said, I started noticing him diving into photography, and just, it done blew up, like, for real. Like, the shit that he's been a part of and the stuff that I just kind of see now, it makes me feel like I feel like a big brother. I'm like super proud of him, right?
Shit.
And it's just like, it's cool to kind of see the progress and just see how it just keeps elevating, and just like the shit that he puts out. Like I said, I'm gonna show y'all. I'm gonna put some cool little After Effects. You're gonna be like, damn, that's cool. And it's just like, it's so cool to see that shit and to see the notoriety and the acknowledgement that he gets from others now, which is like, it's well deserved. Like, bro, like you earn that shit, bro. And it's like, it's like, to me, it's an honor to call you not just an associate, but a friend, right? Someone that has a similar passion as me, right? Because like, I try to tell people, when it comes to like photography and videography, I started doing this shit years ago, but like with like my phone, right? Like with my GoPro, right? With my I never owned a real camera until like 3 years ago.
Oh damn!
Right?
Type shit.
I knew I always wanted to own one, but we both know camera shit is expensive, right? Just a camera body alone, and then the lenses. I have a tendency to get into expensive hobbies, and being a photographer, videographer is definitely the most expensive hobby. Just because, like, you get the camera body, right? And if you fucking get the native glass that goes with that, like, for instance, like I have a Sony A7 IV, right? I'm shooting with a Sigma 24-70. But if I were to buy that same exact lens and a Sony G Master, it's like almost 3 times the price of what that lens cost, and just
2,500, 3 bands.
Yeah, 3 bands, right? You can really go crazy with the equipment, and I always tell people, like, you can. Anyone, like a couple episodes ago, I interviewed my buddy Vic, and anyone can just take a fucking picture just to take a picture, but to get a composition like you said, you didn't know too much about editing photos and shit like that. I'm be real, when I kind of dove into it, I had a little experience with messing with like Photoshop and Lightroom for like just other stuff that I was doing, but like, getting an actual legitimate like industry standard camera, right?
Tight.
It's a whole different ball game. Shooting pictures raw, and then
I was terrified when I seen when I clicked the button and it came back on the screen and it was all white. I was like, go back to automatic.
But yeah, it's like, you know, it's not for everybody, but for the people that do master it, man, it's fucking awesome. And it's like this dude right here is doing it big. Actually, he just came from a concert. Like he just shot some shit.
My feet was hurting so bad. I said, "Bro, can I take my shoes off?"
But yeah, so this dude's on the move. You know what I'm saying? I'm so happy he came here to Detroit to pull up on Big Bro, so we could do this. Right? So with that being said,
and actually, before we go to the next part,
go ahead.
We actually go back. One of my earliest moments of the real connectivity is that, you know, obviously y'all know he DJ, and he came to work and he was like, "Bro, what you be listening to?" I was like, "Man, I be listening to everything." He said, "Let me make you some mixes." Right? He came to work. He gave me like 3 CD mixes. I was playing them motherfuckers down in my mom's car, doing 100 miles an hour to work every day, bro. So that's like one of my earliest, like, you know, like a real connection outside of like, back house, bring me a size 8 and this shoe, and you know what I'm saying? Like, it was like, that's actually like a moment. I was like, oh damn, bro, this dude cool as hell, bro.
Yeah. And you know, I've always been big into making mixed CDs, right? That was always something that I did. Even in high school, my dad bought a computer for the house, and then I was burning CDs, making mixtapes, LimeWire, Napster, Morpheus, you name it. And it's crazy how much that has changed. But yeah, man, it's been a long time coming, and you know, this is something that was, you know, long overdue, right? But yeah, let's dive into some of these questions, my brother. So, what's something people misunderstand about your craft or your industry?
Misunderstand about my craft or everybody craft, like
specifically your craft, right? What your industry, what you're doing. So pretty much, what's something that people misunderstand about, you know, your photography, your videography, all the stuff that you do?
I am self-taught. You know, I've learned like little small stuff from my pops. My pops is a photographer.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But you know, he went to school for it and stuff. But it really, you know, he didn't put like, you know, the stock into, like I'm about to get these business cards website. You know what I'm saying? It kind of was like, you know, something that he really was into. Like my pops is dope as hell. Like I remember seeing Photoshop for the first time from my pops.
Oh, nice.
I get into that in a moment. But I am not a cookie cutter perfection every time person, bro. Like when it comes to art, bro, I feel like you supposed to use, unless you one of them, you know, AI, you know, I'm AI, but like, you're supposed to use tools to make your vision that you created even better. And like, you know, people be like, man, like what's your editing process? Like, bro, you do not want to see my editing process, bro. My editing process is like a mess because, you know, I might put a screenshot in something, or I might put a voice recorded audio, or I might I do whatever I need to do in order to make this, you know, video or project, you know, look good. And especially like with photography, I do not follow all the traditional rules. You know, it's supposed to be this, and you got to follow the 180. And I was just like, this look good to me, bro.
Yeah, and that's all that matters.
And that's all. And the client, that's what clients care about. I feel like the people who judge the most is the people who are the hobbyists.
Yeah,
people who really doing this shit and, you know, really trying to work with clients and stuff. You know, I would say they are, you know, cool. But the hobbyists, man, they feel like everything got to be perfect. This got to look like this. You got to have this. The lighting, you got to make sure this light is on 5600. This one needs to be on 5600. It's just like, hey, bro, like, relax. And it just really pisses me off so much, bro. Like when people act like shit supposed to be perfect, and there's really no rules to this shit.
No,
bro.
There's not.
It's like,
not. You do as you please.
Bingo. And that's one thing I hate that shit so much, bro. All you judgmental people when it comes to art, fuck y'all.
And that's and just to kind of piggyback off that, like, you know, like it's called art for a reason, right? Because it's your form of doing it. If everybody did it the same, everybody's shit would look the same.
For sure.
Right? And it would just be like you said, cookie cutter, same shit, just copy, paste, rinse, repeat. And, you know, that's something that I don't do. Like me, like the thing that always I crack up is like, you know, half of the time when I do edit these photos and this and that and get it to somebody, they slap a fucking Instagram filter on it. And it's just like, I did all that you spend all this time editing this photo, this and that, for somebody just to slap a fucking a selfie filter on it, and it's like holy shit. And it's like I never realized how much time I spend behind a computer screen more than I do my fucking camera.
Yeah, for sure. And then you spend X amount of hours editing a set just for somebody to be like, oh man, this shit dope. And then we're like, okay, I don't want to use this one. I want to use this filter, and they put the filter and they posted it. Like it used to make me so mad in the beginning. It still made me mad.
No, for sure.
But now I'm just like, hey, bro, just don't tag me.
Yeah.
You know? I'm not reposting this on my story. Do not invite collab with me with that bullshit ass photo set you added filters to everyone to. Nah.
No, for sure. Okay, well that's good to know.
I hate that shit.
Nah, and my thing is like, I don't like. I want to say I'm biased, but I have a certain look that I like to go. Like I've been getting a little bit more freakier with the aperture, with the shutter drag stuff, right? And trying to master that because I always shout out to Anthony Norcus, right?
Hey, shout out
fucking
Norcus,
legend
man.
in Grand Rapids. And he's captured me DJing multiple times, and man, his shutter drag stuff was always just top tier. I mean, I would always talk with like Omega and other DJs, like, "Yo, Norcus is the one." And I remember one time,
Norcus is the one.
I remember Norcus reached out to me to ask about videography and cinematography, and I thought that was crazy. Like, what you're asking me about this shit, bro? And I was like, oh shit, but it just goes to show that the shit that I was putting out was fucking
fire,
looked good, right?
Dope,
for them
man.
to ask me about that
sure,
shit, right?
For
so that was cool. So, but yeah, no, for sure, bro. I definitely like that answer to that one. Okay, so if you weren't doing what you're currently doing, what do you think you'd be doing instead? Gang.
That's a great question, man.
All right, take some time. You can think.
I gave up on sports, not because
what sport to be specific?
Bro, I play. Hey, my dad put me and my brother. A lot of y'all probably know my brother, Kanaz. We play everything growing up, bro. We play soccer, we play baseball, we play basketball,
football,
tennis, ran track. Like we did all that shit. I don't know, probably something sports related, or I don't know, automotive. But I just left automotive. I was a service writer at Ford, but obviously I just left that. But I don't know. That's a great question, bro. I think about that kind of shit a lot. I really always want to make music. A lot of y'all know I always want to make music, but I just can't. I'm just not good at making music, bro. But I really want to though.
I feel like you could put your mind to it and create something, right? Like
that's what Brennan be telling me.
Yeah, like Brennan be making beats. So my thing is like this, right? A lot of people don't know this, but probably do know this. But like my high school circle formed a rap group named Philly Ave, based off of Philadelphia Avenue in Grand Rapids, Michigan, on the southeast side. And a bunch of my friends rapped, right? I had a couple bars, a couple tracks. You probably will never hear them, but that's for the greater good. But I was really big into like, I've always been big into like music, right? Like you mentioned, like those mixes that I made for you. I would always hear good tracks and always hear good music and, or hear a track that I'm like, yo, this would be a dope sample, but I never had the ability to like do certain aspects of it. So I would pass that on to like friends that were actually music producers, and they'd be like, damn, bro, this is fire, this is that. And it was just like, and I started messing around with making beats and, like one of my dreams that I feel like I want to accomplish before it's all said and done is I want to release like an EP where it's a bunch of beats that I made, and then I have like all my friends and local talent that I met over, my 17-year DJ career, and have them hop on the track and, and like, holler at Brandon. Brandon helped me with like the mixing, holler at my boy Obi to help me with some shit. It's like, just kind of use all the resources that I have for something like that. And I think it was like another hidden talent / hobby. I think that would be super cool. Okay. So sports and music. Okay. I fucks with it.
Sports and music. Something in it, I don't know. I love writing too. Like not like writing, but I love stories.
Bro. Oh yeah,
like,
no, for sure.
I'm super. That's why I like the podcast space. Like I'm super like into like journalism. Like I read articles all day. I'm like, ooh. I be talking to my wife. I be like, did you know about this? Did you know about that? Did you know when the World Trade Center was built? Like you know what I'm saying? Like I just know. I'm just like a geek
going down a crazy rabbit hole.
I love reading. Like I should read a lot more books, but I just love information though, bro.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I just love knowing. I just need to know.
You know what I like doing? I like getting on YouTube and just going down a rabbit hole of something. like, oh my God, did you know that they found this under Hawaii, and that's why
Yeah.
the NASA stopped exploring the ocean and started
Yep.
exploring the space, like all types of crazy shit. Okay,
Yep.
so journalism as well would be cool. Okay, I rocks with that. So we got a couple good answers to the question. Okay, so pretty much, what's a hill that you'll die on, no matter how unpopular the opinion?
AI art is not art.
Someone else says something about AI and shit. Like, that's crazy. But continue on.
AI art is not art. Let me tell you. Let me
Yeah,
say something.
break it down, Los.
I've never spoken on this publicly. It's gonna be the first time I'm speaking on this publicly. I just want to kind of I want to school y'all real quick on what AI actually is. So in 2024, I was approached by Redacted Company to provide them with 5 terabytes of top 5 terabytes and more if I have to help train AI. So in this company, we had 2 or 3 meetings. Contracts got sent. Everything was, all I had to do was put my name on the line, and I was going to be one of you people. Some of my art was going to be to use some of the stuff. So at this time, I'm not. What the hell's train AI? What I'm saying? What is this shit? So the lady, it's actually missed. I'm so mad. I really wish to this day. I wish, because I ended up having to miss the meeting with the owner of the company, but I ended up doing it with the lady, and she was telling me, it's like, well, AI training is, we feed terabytes after terabytes after terabytes of footage to the AI machine.
Yeah, to the servers.
So let's just say, a lot of stuff they was looking for was concert stuff. They was looking for wildlife. They was looking for a lot of my travel stuff. They wanted me to send stuff from Tokyo. That they had specific. When they came to this meeting, they said, how much do you have? At least 500 gigs from Tokyo. Do you have enough? 500 gigs? They was like, she was like, own it. Like, they was like, these people was like paying attention.
Probably worked for North Korea.
Yeah. type shit. And it's just like, and she was saying, that the reason why a lot of these subcontractor companies exist now, because a lot of the big AI companies, they're being sued by our bigger companies, because in the beginning when they were training AI, they was taking anything. They was taking stuff off your Facebook, they was taking stuff off YouTube, they was taking anything and everything across the whole web without permission to train AI. And obviously, these big CEO people, they got millions of people, millions of dollars to spend to have people, brush the internet to find copyrighted stuff. So what they were doing now, they were reaching out to individuals, a lot of stuff that's, being out there. So I'm like, well, what is train AI? So I'm going to tell y'all why AI art is not real. So what they would do is that, let's just say I sent them 100 gigabytes of wildlife and mountains and stuff.
Yeah.
Let's just say 60 other people did the same thing. And let's just say that now they have 100 terabytes of mountains at this point,
A lot of fucking memory.
Exactly. So what they would do, so what you would do is, so when you go on AI and you like, make me this mountain that look like this, it's going to take those 60 people mountains and going to make you a mountain from those 60. If it needs 60, it could stop at 3. It could it depends on how complex you asking for. So AI art is not your art, because the makings of it's
compilations.
It's exactly. Y'all don't understand. Y'all think because y'all making a mountain or y'all making a bicycle, y'all think it's coming from nowhere. But really, what it is being trained in these the essentially thoughts of the AI is stored. And when you ask for somebody busting their head on a bicycle, it's not gonna look. The reason why some of those videos look stupid as hell, because they don't have that many videos of somebody busting their head on a bike. But they can make you a perfect mountain. They can make you a perfect house, because they have countless examples of what a house looks like. You know what I'm saying? So y'all, but I can't speak on like the people who put letters and, making like little shit like that. But people who are trying to say, hey, this art is original, this is mine. No, it's not, bro.
Yeah.
And that's exactly why they are now not letting people copyright AI music, because let's just say it's vice versa. You put your drum pattern in there, and somebody said, I want a drum pattern like this. And let's just say AI take 60% of the way your drum pattern is, and somebody make $1 million. That's 60% of your work right there. That's in AI, and you not getting $1 for it.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
So yeah, I mean,
I didn't know those small details, but it doesn't shock me, man. I got a bunch of friends that use AI for a lot of shit.
Yeah,
automation mainly.
Type shit.
And it's understandable. It's cool.
Hey, do what you do. I'm not mad at nobody doing AI stuff. One thing I don't like is the people who like, look at me. I am so talented. Look at this work that I made, and I am the best person ever. Book my services. I'm just like, bro, you just a prompter, man. Like, come on, relax, bro. Relax. Show me when you get in the field, bro. And I'm you know what I'm saying?
Facts.
I respect you a little bit.
But my thing is like, what I'm tired of, I guess, to kind of add to that is I am tired of all these AI party flyers. I know you see them. I know you see them every day. There's a lot of people I know from back home that I could just look at the flyers and I'm like, all y'all flyers look the same.
Yeah.
And what's so crazy is like, instead of, paying somebody that knows how to do something like that, people are cutting corners and then just doing this and that. Like, for instance, like, let me just give you a prime example, right? I'm not going to say no names because I don't want no one to get pissed off at me yet. So there's a particular person that I had reached out to about shooting content for their business, right? I was like, hey, man, I shoot some content for you. I'll give you a really good deal.
Nice.
I send them a quote. I hear nothing from them. And then like a couple weeks later, I see all this like AI footage, AI like just bullshit. I'm like, so you just wanted to you rather just cheap out and just let Sarah Connor and the T2000, the T200 just go ahead and make your work. But I was like, it is. I get it. It's cool what it is. It is what it is.
One excuse I hate is just say that you don't want to pay nobody. People be trying to say, oh, well, people, they charge $50 for the flyer. Well, if you're not confident enough in your event that you're going to make the $50 back.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so confused. Like, that's such a poor excuse.
Yeah, people blow my shit with that type of stuff. But it is what it is, man. We live in an era where everyone would rather just cut corners.
Oh, for sure.
Versus actually, like, put in the work. And it's something that actually I spoke with somebody about this earlier about that shit. And I'm like, people just want to cut corners and don't want to put in the work and then wonder why they're not in the position of others that are putting in the fucking work and then, putting the hours in. Like this photography and videography shit, bro. This shit is time consuming, bro.
Oh, for sure.
Like, it's time consuming, right? People don't talk about all the time. You gotta, you be on your feet. Like you kicked off your shoes when you got here. Like being on your feet all day and then
the gig my fault, I didn't cut you off.
Go ahead.
The gig I just took for that show. When I get home, she gonna drive us back to Grand Rapids, and I'm gonna edit because the agreement I gotta have the recap and the photo deliverables done in the morning.
Damn.
So I'm not. It's 24 hours to It's a full night tonight of work. So this is for you AI motherfuckers who. Okay, AI said 5 minutes or 5 hours. Let me go to sleep. That's what you AI motherfuckers doing, man. Y'all don't know about the grind, bro. Y'all not passionate about this shit because it don't take nothing to do. God damn. I'm sick of this shit.
I am definitely tired of it, bro. And then it's just, I don't know, bro. The lazy people do the lazy stuff, so it is what it is, right? So yeah. So I'd like to say, fuck them. But yeah, stop using AI so much. Learn to do something. And it's okay if you're not good at something. That's okay, bro.
For sure.
Like, it's okay to have to be good at, like me, for instance. I'm not no goddamn electrician, right? I thought I was when I got to this house, and I was like, let me kind of like change a light socket, right? Fucking blew a fuse.
Damn.
Fiance looked at me like, damn. Fuck, I had to go hire a professional. And he came over here in like 2 seconds, fixed all this shit. I'm like, that's why you gotta hire a professional sometimes for certain shit, right? Okay. If not, you cost yourself more money and you cost yourself time that you can't get back. So it kind of goes, with the AI
nothing
shit.
Wrong with a little, you know what I'm saying? Chat GPT, what this? Tell me about this, or like, I've been seeing like a lot of people have been putting they legal documents in there, like explain this to me, like. Shit like that is cool.
Nah, like, shit like that is cool.
Yeah, hella cool.
Yeah. Like using it for the right things, right? Like I used, I know this is gonna sound crazy, but I'm big into Pokemon cards, right?
shit.
If you follow me on social media, you should know this, right? I got a Bulbasaur tattooed right here on my fucking arm, and then a Pokeball and the hieroglyphics in this arm. Shout out to my tattoo artist Chris Garcia, H-Town Inc.
Fire.
But
Shout out H-Town.
pretty much what happened was I opened up, because one thing that people don't know, that where I live on the west side of Detroit, there's like hella dollar stores, right? Hella Family Dollars, Dollar Generals, Dollar Trees, right? Like a ridiculous amount, especially on the west side in the inner city. And I had zoomed out on my maps and took a screenshot of all the different spots in the area. And then I put a circle where my house was. And then I ran that through Chat GPT, and I was like, create me a path, a logical path to try to hit all these different locations. And it gave me you got to give it as much detail as possible.
For sure.
If you half-ass it, it's going to half-ass your answer. But I gave it so much detail, and that shit mapped me out a strategic map in a way to kind of keep track of the stuff. I was blown away. And then it's like, that's my path, you know. Sometimes I'll go, as I call it, hunting, and I follow that path.
Type
and,
shit.
You know, and
ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely.
It can be used for
not
the
judging
right things, and it can be used for the wrong things, pretty much. Okay. All right. So look, you can instantly master any one skill set in the world. What is it and why?
Bank robber.
Bank robbing? Please give me more details.
Because I feel like if I could master, it's only people that rob banks and get away with it. But it's also so many people who don't. And it's just like, if I could master robbing a bank, that means doing at the top level, right? What I would do is I will start a Discord.
Oh,
and then my Discord, I would have a tier where I give it a little bit of information, but then I give a private for people who pay for the top tier. I have them pay, and then I had all the bank robbers come do it, in the congregation, and then I would teach them how to do the craziest heist on the highest GTA level possible and get away with it. And and I just would feel like I would make so much money without breaking the law. Because I'll be robbing banks through them.
That's a first, very unique answer.
Yeah.
Okay. It's funny you mentioned that. I always joke around about robbing like a card shop, right? Because they got a lot of sealed product that's not serialized. You got to get in and out, like the movie Gone in 60 Seconds, right? And I see it all the time on the news, right? I'll be watching, I'll be on Twitter, and I'll be like, damn, they just hit a card shop in New York in broad daylight. Wow, people was in the store just taking like graded cards, fucking taking sealed product. And I'm just like, dude, I see it happen out here, right? It's just crazy, the value of trading cards have gone insane. And
it's crazy, bro.
Yeah, and even robbing a bank, I don't know if you've seen this, but there's a documentary on, I think it's Amazon Prime. It's talking about this Kansas City Chiefs super fan, right? So this dude, right, at every fucking home game, every away game, front row, bro, good ass seats, great seats, right? Great seats, and super fan on Twitter, crazy following, right? The dude would post crazy bets that he would make at casinos and crazy shit. So people was like, oh, he's just going to the casino making his money. Come to find the fuck out what this dude was doing on away games, right? Kansas City away games. On the way to an away game, he would go rob a fucking bank. Yeah, bro. He would go rob. I'm gonna send you. I'm gonna post a picture of this documentary because I thought when I was watching it, it was gonna be about the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes and all them.
Type.
And it was it was about the super fan, and he was robbing the fuck. Bro, he was every away game. He would go on the way to the stadium, right, wherever it was at, Houston, whatever city where they're playing an away game, and he would go and He would rob the bank. And then after he would rob the bank, he would just dip on a bike or something. And how he got caught was he robbed the bank, and then he was out riding a bike in the cold ass weather, and the police was like, this looks suspicious, and they apprehended him. And the dude, bro, and he it was because what happened was people were he wasn't responding to anything on Twitter, and he wasn't saying anything. Like, what the fuck happened? Is he dead or something like that? So people, the internet started looking on the news and looking, cross-referencing on Google. When people get together, they can figure some shit out.
Oh, for sure.
And it was like, oh my God, a super fan got arrested for robbing. It was crazy, bro. He was taking the money to casinos, placing it on bets, hitting crazy amounts of money, and washing the money essentially through that, bro. Which I thought was crazy. I'm gonna send you it, bro. But it was crazy, bro. Like I'm into stuff like that. Like I remember watching the movie like Heat, right, with Al Pacino and all them, and they was like robbing. Class. They're supposed to be remaking it or something, or I don't know. But my biggest thing is like robbing a bank and shit like that, bro, is crazy, bro. Like if you can pull that off, because
I think I could.
I
would never attempt. But could I?
I be thinking of like Ocean's 11, like movies like that where they just do some like slick shit, or like I think of like movies like The Dark Knight where Heath Ledger and Joker, they was just doing crazy shit like the crazy bank heist and just all that type of stuff. And
can't think of the movie, but I think Denzel in it. He the cop, and then they robbed the bank, but then the dude sleeps in the bank. He put himself in the wall, and at the end of the movie, you get out the wall and you walk out like a regular person.
I don't remember that movie.
So good. So I'm so mad I can't think of the name of the movie. So good though. It's such a phenomenal.
You said Denzel? I'm gonna have to look it up and throw the reference in the Clipski. But yeah, Rob.
Sorry if y'all didn't see it. That was a spoiler. So make sure you put a spoiler right before I continue to talk.
Spoiler. I'm sorry, guys.
Sure.
But no, like robbing a bank, that's a unique one. I wasn't expecting that one from you. A unique one. So like, if you guys ever in the future, like, see Los locked up, we know it was probably for bank robbery.
But if I didn't get locked up for it, buy my master class.
Well, join the Discord. But my biggest thing is like this, man. Like people do shit and then just get caught from bullshit, right? I know one thing for sure. If you're ever gonna commit a crime, leave this fucking thing at home. Sure. Leave Apple Watch at the Kripski. No tech on you because they can trace all that shit, bro. Like, wear gloves, obviously. I thought of would be like a scenario, like a crazy movie scene would be like someone does something, right? After they take off from robbing or whatever, right? Whether it's a bank or a card store or whatever, right? They go to a park where they already got clothes stashed. They burn their outfit. They get on like a mountain bike and go down like a bike trail, ride some miles through like the storm. And you got to do it on a stormy night where it's like raining like crazy outside or like snowing. And then you just, get off and then ride off into the sunset with hopefully there's not an ink tag inside your duffel bag where it blows up and not all the money's blue.
You know what? Every time something crazy going on in the city and I see like 50 cops, I'll be like the perfect opportunity to rob a bank right now.
Yeah, when the heat's on somewhere else, and you be like, let's do it right now, like radio, like do like I'll call you and be like Oklahoma. That's the code word for doing that shit.
I always be thinking about so one day me and my wife, we was at
police are gonna watch this interview.
I'm a law-abiding citizen. We was at Atlantic. We was at Atlantic Fish.
Oh, right on 28.
Yeah, it's a Cloud Cannabis right there.
Yeah.
And I was looking at it, and then not Cloud Cannabis, please. You're not trying to rob it. But
scoping out the spot.
I was looking at it, and I was like, I look at her because she's in the passenger seat. I said, "Have you ever heard of a dispensary being robbed?" I was like, "I feel like people don't do that." She was like, "Nah, you know what? I haven't." And then I said, "Man, that's crazy." Like 24 hours later, all over the news, dispensary just fucking robbed. I was like, not that one, but it was. I think it was in like land. I think it was out here. They had robbed one out here, and I was like, I showed her. I was like, look at this shit. They just fucking
took my idea,
bro. Type shit, bro. Type shit. I was like, that's mad crazy, bro.
Yeah, it was funny. We're talking about like bank robberies and all that shit. This might have been a couple months ago. A bunch of dudes robbed either a bank or a stolen ATM. Something. They did some shit that was illegal. And they immediately went to Somerset afterwards and just went, was going crazy at Somerset buying the designer this. They got caught from that. All the surveillance and all that shit from the mall was used. Like, you can't do shit like that, bro. Like, you can't just start spending money. It's kind of like, what's that movie called with, it's not Paid in Full. Dead Presidents, right?
Okay.
Start doing too much with the money and then
Type
getting
shit.
caught up and shit like that. You can't do
Tracing
that.
numbers on the bills and shit. It'd be
Yeah,
crazy
man.
shit
It'd be
going on.
like you gotta be smart about. And I feel like I've seen enough movies and documentaries and shows where like if I were to go into the world of crime, I would be pretty good at it.
It was some artist. He got arrested. They got arrested for robbing like a bank or something like that. And the only reason why they found out who it was is that when they had flexed the money, one of the codes on the dollar matched from one of the codes that was in the bank, and that's how they end up getting them.
And the feds are always watching.
Fans is always watching, bro.
Always watching.
Did you hear about the Pooh Shiesty shit today?
Yeah, I just saw that on Twitter.
Oh my god!
Supposedly him and his.
You gotta be the biggest dummy ever, bro.
Robbed Gucci man try to force him to sign. It was that recent that this happened?
Yeah, I guess they said it was. I guess a couple months ago, and the only reason why they got caught because they started flexing the jury.
Damn.
Because they end up taking this jury and his money and shit too.
And my thing is like this: like Gucci man didn't say anything about this. He didn't like go to the police, you know.
And
Like,
the police, I don't know how much you know. He hires off-duty police for his security. So they robbed police. Technically, they robbed the police.
yeah, I gotta go on Twitter later on. It's still fresh. I remember
it is
just
still
seeing it
fresh.
on the internet, and you start seeing the memes and shit like that. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, he's.
I really didn't look too into it, but that's fucking crazy, bro. I'm pretty sure more and more crazy details. Pretty much, long story short, don't sign no bullshit deal.
Man, armed robbery, bro. I mean,
Armed robbery.
And they trying to say, "Oh, he a rat." Like, bro, this wasn't no street shit. Y'all made me sign a contract that came from Warner Brothers or something, bro. Like, what's street about that?
Yeah, not
God
at all.
damn.
Yeah, people.
Hey, y'all suckers out there, man.
Yeah, that is crazy. Okay, so that would be the skill. Okay, bet, love it. I'm glad we went back and forth about that.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Okay, so if your life had a background soundtrack, what genre would it be, and who is on the fucking track?
What genre would it be? It'd be some Kanye.
Okay, so Kanye
La,
beat.
la, 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 and it'd be that.
My
Really.
homie was actually just at the concert
jealous.
in Cali.
Jealous.
He flew from Cupertino, where he works, where we met when I was at Apple, and then he fucking went to the concert, and I was like, damn, that was probably cool to see, you know,
Bro, that
like
globe.
the globe. Yeah, bro, like Don Toliver
Jesus
did
Christ.
E85.
I
and
know.
all
I
them
put it
songs.
on my YouTube channel this morning.
Yeah, that shit was
Yeah.
pretty fucking sweet, you know.
Yeah.
Like, I just hope that he goes on a full tour.
And I'm thinking that I love her. Hey,
I'm actually gonna play that track on the 18th.
Okay.
During my set at some point in time at Billy's when I'm in Grand Rapids. So if
Fire.
April 18th, I'll be in Grand Rapids. It'll be the first time I've DJ at Billy's in like over 4 years. I'll say more like between 3 and 4 years. And this is for Omega's birthday party. I'm super stoked about it, and I'm excited to show motherfuckers that I still got it. Not that anyone cares or even looking, but I definitely can't wait to show out. Yeah, it's gonna be a good night. It's gonna be a movie, as they say. Bam. All right. So Kanye West for sure.
sure.
Would it just be like everything Kanye West, like a beat and him on the track, or just like, you know, we got any
It'll be
features on there?
Kanye West. Kanye West beat, Kanye West track, and then it'll have Wiz Khalifa on it, have Kid Cudi on it, and have Don Toliver on it.
Oh shit, that'd be a superstar
yeah,
track.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
bet.
yeah.
I rock with that.
Yeah. Shout out Don T, man.
Yeah,
My
Don T.
motherfucker.
I know that's your
Brother.
boy, bro.
Oh, come on.
Like,
That's
I know-
gang. Shout out to the Jack Boys, man.
Yeah.
Shout out Lamar, man. Come on, man. Let's get this together, man.
Can you tell me about the gallery where that photo was?
Yes.
Because I want to post that on here.
Yes.
It's gonna be like, and then
Yeah.
tell me about that.
So, Abbey Road, like the Beatles, I
Yeah.
always gotta tell people that. You know, Abbey Road's in London, they do like a music photography awards. I think it's like one of the highest music. iHeartRadio is doing one now, but theirs is more like they pick they pick like 5 or 6 people, and then they have people vote and stuff like that. So this one is like essentially like the Grammys. You know how the Grammys, you know, when you submit, you know, people submit their music to the Grammys, and then the Academy Awards, you know, pick. So this is like, I sent them some photos. I was like, you know, I didn't think nothing of it because the first year I didn't even get shortlisted. The second year,
you sent it to them or to Don?
no, I sent it to them.
Okay.
You have to submit your photos, and then they got all like this year they had Greg Noir. You know Greg, right?
Yeah.
They had Greg Noir and a bunch of other big people that actually did the shortlisting, as well as the, you know, pick the nominees. And And I submitted, didn't think nothing of it. I'm stressing out on the couch with her, like, which one should I put? I mean, it ain't that many good ones, but which one should I do? And I was just like, I thought I submitted some good ones, bro. And I was like, man, this should be cool. And I didn't even, once I submitted it, didn't even think about it again. It was like no way that they was reaching out to me. So they sent me an email as soon as we fucking landed in Grand Rapids. They sent me an email, and I'm like, oh shit! I'm telling Trina, like look, they fucking shortlisted me. So I'm like, damn, shortlisted. When I was shortlisted, they told me I was a part of the final 15 out of 20,000 images. So I was like, God damn. So I mean, I don't know. I could be number 6 or I could be 15. I mean, I don't know. But I was just happy to be shortlisted. And I was like, okay, well, and then I found out that I wasn't a part of the nominees, and I was like, oh man, like I was kind of bummed, but I was like, God damn, shortlisted. Because I told her, because I was thinking about quitting concert photography and shit like that. I was like, I told her, I said, if I win, or even if I'm nominated, I'm cool. I quit. And I didn't get nominated. I ended up getting shortlisted. And I was like, I mean, I guess I got to keep going. So
yeah, bro.
they ended up reaching out to everybody that was shortlisted. Like, hey, for the first time ever, we putting a gallery up for the final 15 instead of for the final 5. And we're just letting you know that in fucking 5 days, your photo will be in the Outernet Gallery in London from November 4th to like the end of January. I think they end up extended it to the end of January. And we would like for you to come down and meet some of the team and some of the artists on this day. So I was like telling her, I was like, what the I'm going crazy. I was crying. I ain't gonna lie to you. I had tears coming down to think that something I capture on a camera is gonna be in London.
Yeah, bro, that's huge, bro.
In a public gallery. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like once I leave London, it's still gonna be playing.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it just was like,
that's super dope.
So surreal. And then like once the moment kind of wore away, I was like, well, maybe we shouldn't go, man. We're going to Thailand in like a week from now. Like maybe we shouldn't go to London. Maybe we should just like, save money. She was like, why not? And I was like, man, I just feel like we should save money. And then like we was talking and we was like, when's the next time I can say that I got some work in London?
Yeah,
and we was like, fuck it. And she got online, we used some of our Sky Miles and we flew down there.
YOLO.
And just, I guess I can send you the video if you want to play it on the green screen. But then, like, she was recording, and I told her I didn't know if I was gonna cry, but I told her I might. And once I got there, I didn't think so. But then as I was sitting there, bro, like you can see it in the video, and I was just looking at it. And I'm just watching people walk by and look at all the shit, and it's just like, boom, the tears just started coming down because I'm just like, little old Carlos, bro. Somebody who, didn't have a pot to piss in, who wasn't given a head start on none of this shit. No degree, no certificate, nothing with, this, in this creative space. And London, talking to people from to fucking Abbey Road, the Beatles.
Yeah. It's so funny to say that. Bro. Look at my thing.
Fire. And it's crazy because we end up going to the street.
Yeah, where that shit is
at. The studio was like right there. I never knew that. So like the stairs is like right. I mean the
walkway.
The walkway is like right here, and then like literally like it's a building. Then boom, like Abbey Road, the whole studio is like right there. I was like, oh, I didn't know it was like that.
Yeah, you definitely got to get me crazy. That clip.
I got you. I sent it.
I wouldn't even post it on the green screen. I'm gonna post it on the fucking main screen.
Type shit.
While we're talking right now, I'd be fucking playing.
For sure.
Okay, bet.
Yeah, it was electrifying, bro. It was just like, damn. I guess I really can't quit. Like, and it was so funny because I was just talking to the people I was, doing photos and shit with. They from London, and I was, kind of telling them, and they was like, God damn, like that's crazy and shit. And I was like, yeah.
Okay.
Here I am.
No, for sure, bro. Okay, so look, if your younger self could see you now, what do you think they'd say?
Ecstatic.
I love that. One of my favorite words.
I feel like I didn't really have, I didn't have no direction of my own. It was always like, you need to get a job. You need to do this. You need to go to school, and you need to get this. You need to have this degree. You need to, I always was like, people was always telling me what I wanted to do, but I never did good with structure and rules and shit like that. I gotta make my own way all the time.
No, for sure.
I always gotta obviously it's harder on me doing that, but I'm so against like rules and regulation. Like that's just not in a like break the law way, rob the bank way. But, you know what I'm saying? Just, like generally speaking, it's just like I don't know, bro. Like yeah, that's I guess all I gotta say to that part.
Okay, no. Like sometimes they don't, those specific answers to these questions. Sometimes that's enough. That's all you need to know. You hear the emotion, ecstatic, right?
Yeah,
Boom,
yeah.
right? Okay,
Yeah.
all right. So
and I guess I continue in high school. One of my, I never, ever got mad at him for saying this, but this is just the way that I was living. And I'm going to be 30 next year, and I was telling her, like, when I was young, to anything bad, if anything bad was to happen after I just do a bad decision, or I was about to do a bad decision, my mind was always, fuck it, I'm going to die anyway. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, I never really saw longevity in this life, not because I was just some dumbass, want to die, kill myself. Like, no, it was just like, what if I have nothing in this life that's for me? What does 15 years from now look like realistically? And it's just like, it was kind of like a real, I don't know, it was a real tough pill to swallow. So I asked my homie, like I said, do not feel no type of way. I just still to this day don't feel no type of way. I asked him, I said, bro, you think I'm going to be something? And he was like, you want me to tell you? I was like, yeah, let me know something, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking he's going to tell me like, yeah, you're going to be 100 grand. You're going to be going crazy. I said, yeah, bro, tell me, you think I'm going to be anything? And he was like, no.
Oh, shit.
And I was like, damn. And I was never mad at him because
he kept it a buck.
He kept it a buck, but then that's also the way I lived. That I didn't care. School, fuck school. College, fuck college. A job, fuck a job. Like, nothing was like, I had no sense of direction for what I wanted to do, bro. Like, like obviously, I wanted the cool shoes. I wanted a cool car. I wanted, the cool clothes. I always wanted to do cool. I wanted to travel, but it's just like, I didn't have my footing. I didn't have no footing in this life, bro. And I was always into cameras and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, a kid. I was a kid. Cause I told you my dad was a photographer, so it was always cameras I was playing around with. I was always making mini movies and what I'm saying, shit like that. And yeah, so yeah. I mean, I guess now that ends that question.
No, for sure. And sometimes that puts you in perspective when people are just, I call it brutally honest about shit. Sure. So, and sometimes that can be an eye opener, a motivator, wake your ass up type of shit. So
for sure.
Definitely. Okay. So look, if you could collaborate with anyone, past or present, who would it be and why? Shout out
Virgil. V, I need that collaboration.
Okay.
And in the past, and what I'm saying, in the past, when I'm gone, Virgil, I'm hollering at you, bro. After I, dap it up with Jesus, after I dapped it up with God, I said, V, I'm coming to see
Why
you.
Virgil specifically?
Bro, Virgil is so fucking, Virgil's like one of the greatest people, like, ever. I feel the same way about Kanye. I feel the same way about Pharrell. But, man, Virgil, though, bro, like, when the way Virgil got this analogy, how I think about myself.
Mm-hmm.
And in this reference, I am the can. And he was like, Virgil said, if you got this can and it looked like trash, right? If I put this can inside this garage, you would look right past it. You would think it was trash. You would think it was, something that could just be thrown out if you was cleaning up. But if I put the same can in this art gallery, then it's profound. Then what's more to it, man? And that's how I look at myself as a damaged, unput together person. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I am that can. You know what I'm saying? I chose to say fuck what I look like to people, and I put myself in this area, and now I'm just like, Carlos, tell me about yourself. And they're just like, yeah, that's me, bro.
No,
and I'm
I
just
like
and it's not, to me, it's never really about how the outside of the can look. To me, it's about, what's in the can. And I feel like that's always been my mindset. It's like, my mom got this thing where she feel like that people need to wear a suit when they like do business. She think like, oh, when you're doing business, you should wear a suit. But I always tell her, what does a suit decide how much knowledge I got in my head to do a business deal.
Yeah.
Like, we could do a business deal with cargos, hoodie, and t-shirt, and and sweatpants.
Yeah.
And the same deal could be happening if we had a suit on.
Yeah,
it would literally make no difference.
Yeah.
And it's just like, to me, I feel like we put too much thought on the external, but when really we should be worried about the internal.
Message. That's real. That's
Okay.
real. Okay. I like that. That's very, 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 very nice. Okay. What's a recent challenge or obstacle you faced that taught you something valuable?
So I quit my job in August. Like I said, I was a service writer at Ford, and I was beginning to start generating some good money doing it. And I decided that I wanted to go on this endeavor with my wife. Well, she still worked, but go on this endeavor of me trying to work on my own. It was a couple different opportunities that I had to pass up forcefully. That was very large sums of money and I just felt like it was time for me to, spread my wings. And you know how the photo and video space go. Like, you can have an amazing, super booked up, March, and then April would be nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it'd be not one, nothing.
Dry as a desert.
Dry as a desert. And then you might have the same thing with May.
Yeah.
And you may have the same thing with June. Like, and I'm dealing with budgeting, and I'm also dealing with going through when I go through dry spells. Like, March was pretty good. April was fixing to be pretty good as well, but February was slow. January was nice. December, nothing. November, nothing. October, decent. September, nothing. August, the first month I quit, decent. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like when people, everybody who told me that, business is up and down and you really need to, brace for the storms that can appear in an instant, they was not lying, bro. This shit is like having to, first of the month come around every month.
Yo, whether you want it to or not, that shit coming.
No cap,
Revolving like
bro.
a door.
It revolves like a door, bro, and it's just like dealing with the obstacle. I'm not announcing it to the world yet, but certain people. So if you could bleep this part out, me and me and my wife. You can keep it in here, but just bleep the location out. Me and my wife, we was deciding to move when we was looking at New York, we was looking at Detroit, we was looking at Chicago, we was looking at LA, we was looking at Houston, and as we kind of knocked the list down, we ended up going with blank, which is but obviously blank gonna do like a big cool like road.
Yeah, I'll make sure that
Yeah, okay.
Like a little cool, the shit that they be doing in post production. Okay. So look, in today's world, what's an emerging trend or topic that excites you or maybe even worries you?
AI worries me.
Okay, so we're back to AI again.
Yeah.
That's 2 strikes on AI.
AI worries me, but what excites me, bro, I really love. I feel like we kind of veering away from it low key, like just slightly. But I feel like I love how open minded a good amount of the world is. I feel like it changed a little bit now that Trump in office. It's a lot of hate out there right now.
People are just showcasing that shit on their sleeves.
It's a lot. You supposed to be like this. The world supposed to look like this. Da 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 da. The world that we made up the rules to is supposed to look like what somebody made this shit up to be. It's just like, nigga, I hate that shit. But I love what the youth, like, I'm only 29, but I love what the youth is walking into as far as like, we was growing up, obviously, I'm not trying to say I'm close to, you and Brendan and shit, but, I was still on the tail end. When we was growing up, it was go to school, go to college, buy a house, do the regular American thing. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, no doubt.
And now that's not what's being pushed no more. Now what's being pushed, like, if you good at dropshipping, my nigga, go do dropshipping. If you good at photography, go to art school. It's like, I love how the conversation is so open, bro. Like me 2011 telling somebody that, yeah, man, like, I want to be the next big fucking concert photographer. And somebody be like, nigga, what the fuck is you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you like? You wanna what? You wanna run a card shop and sell Pokemon cards? Like, nigga, fuck is like. I love how now is if you like it, I love it, and that's how the world is. That's how the society is kind of changing on what's the norm. And bro, I wish that I can just rewind the clock, and I wish I could be 21 in 2026, and then I feel like my whole life would be different.
No, for sure. There's definitely we live in a different world, man. Like I wish I wish I could go. I saw a funny meme that was like, man, if my parents would have let me game and really, let me lock in, I could be a millionaire. Cause look at these streamers, bro. There's people that's gaming and getting cashed out, and just the you think of stuff like I always mention this. People might not know this, but OnlyFans was initially created for people to like go on there and like cook and show chefs, and people can, and the pandemic turned into a whole completely different thing. And there's people that's making crazy millions of dollars, but you're degrading yourself, right? You're it's just, I'm not gonna go into details because I don't even want to like give that too much energy, but we live in a world right now where shit is different, bro. Like, people are trying, and I spoke about this earlier, people are trying to go viral instead of just like focusing and doing them, and if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't, right? People are like clickbaiting stuff, right? People are purposely doing shit. One thing that irks me the most is when I see a person recording themselves give a homeless person money or food or something. Like, why do you got to record yourself doing that, bro? Like, just do it, bro. Like, just do it, bro. Like, when I'm fucking driving in Detroit and I see a minority with the family, or just like, like me personally is like this, and this is just me being honest. When I see a white person panhandling or homeless or whatever the fuck, I don't give them shit. You got white privilege. How do you fuck that up? You can eat shit, right? When I see like a black person, a brown person, I seen a lady not that long ago with some kids outside, and I was outside of a Family Dollar, and I went in there and grabbed like food and cash, and I just and just gave to him, and God bless you, and just kept it moving. You didn't see me out there with the fucking 360 camera, like I'm about to go feed these people, I'm about to go do some that. Like that shit is just, people do that shit, bro. And I just hate when people do stuff and it just doesn't feel genuine.
Type shit.
Like and that shit just really bothers me. But this is it is just what it is, right?
Yeah, I'm big on that too. I'm big on the community. It's like one of my biggest gripes. I don't broadcast it no more, but I really used to say fuck Meek Mill because maybe you're so mad when he had like that water thing when he was giving out water, and then he said, I'm giving y'all this 20 and y'all divide this 20 up between all of y'all, which is cool, if that's how you feel. But a lot of people was like scrutinizing, like, man, like we just watched you throw $50K in the strip club, like you could have gave them kids $100 to split and shit like that, like whatever you give is whatever you give. But his reason was, like, I didn't give them more because I know what these kids would do with it, like buy drugs, do shit like that. But then my thing is, but do you know what these kids would do for it? Like, these kids will rob, kill, steal, do anything to get $20, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I just feel like using that analogy is like, oh, I know what they do. I know what they do with it. Shit, you should see what they'll do for it.
Yeah, I saw a funny meme about him recently. Like, he ain't been the same since losing that Drake beef battle, which is the truth. You know what I'm saying? I
was rooting for Meek Mill. I still have Meek on that one. I was, Meek was rapping his ass off.
People be sore losers. Look at Drake. The shit that's happening with Drake, bro. He
lost. Crazy.
It's okay for him to talk about Kendrick, being a wife beater and all this crazy shit. But when he got called a pedophile, and you pretty much, bro, Drake did the most light-skinned Canadian Jewish thing you would ever see somebody do, right? And it is what it is. You lost the battle, bro. Just let it go. Keep doing. Like, I always tell my fiance, I wish Drake would go back to like the classics Drake, where he's making bangers, singing on tracks, all that tough shit. them braids is too tight, cuz. Take them braids out your hair, bro. You're doing too much, man, and just get back to the music, you know, trying to suit Universal Music Group.
Insane.
And all like who the fuck does that, bro? Him, bro, you know, and it's just like, bro, you still the man, bro. You still doing crazy numbers. Like, keep that up. Like, at the end of the day, your run is gonna end one day, right?
Oh, for sure.
So, you know, let it end naturally versus you putting an end to it yourself by doing bitch ass shit, right?
Type shit.
So, you know, and I love Drake, bro. Like, I'm a huge Kendrick Lamar and Drake fan, right? But when it comes to like, I come from the era where I like deep bars, deep verses. So
type beat.
Kendrick Lamar I love him more than I like Drake, but I also love Drake. I love Drake's music.
I fuck with Drake.
I always tell people,
but Kendrick washed him.
Oh,
I love Drake.
He watched him.
No Guidance is one of the best club records.
Oh yeah,
ever.
No Guidance with Chris Brown. To this day, that shit is a bop, right?
Bro, that shit
actually
still
it came on recently, and I was in the car with my fiance, and we was like, man, this shit still go slap. This shit.
Next week. That's my. I'm playing that shit on the way home.
Yeah,
that's my shit, bro.
But nah, man, I do. My favorite album of Drake is definitely If You're Reading This Is Too Late. I'll never forget because I was in Mexico with my cousins. We were driving past an active volcano, right? I remember seeing like snow at the peak. I'm a big fan of volcanoes. I'm like, damn, look at that volcano over there. I'm like, it's supposed to be smoking like that, you know, like, because you know, usually see that shit in a movie. That's not a good sign, but it was. I never seen an active volcano that close, and literally right after that, I had Spotify Premium, which I still do, and then I saw that Drake released the album. And we was banging that shit. We had like a 3-hour drive ahead of us to get to Colima, Mexico, which is like real close to where that volcano was. We were going to a resort, pretty much. That's right on the coastline. And man, we listened to the whole album on the ride there, bro. You know that. You know, right. I had on them tracks with Party Next Door on there. It was to me, I think that was one of his greatest albums, right? And it's like this last shit he been putting out, I ain't gonna lie, be weak as hell. This new album, Iceman, whenever it does release, I think it's gonna bomb. Yeah. But that's just me.
I can tell by him trying to do all this promo shit that he even think it might bomb.
Yeah, and re-recording shit and this and that. But yeah. Okay. But okay. So what's a piece of advice you once received that you still hold close today?
I don't know, bro. I feel like I don't know. I feel like I don't be getting too much sound advice, bro.
I mean, and that's the answer to the question, right? You might, you know, like, I'll tell you a piece of advice someone gave to me. Actually, you remember Jakia, our manager at Nike? Yeah. She told me this one day, and I still use this to this day. And I'm still in contact with her. That's my dog. Shout out to Kia B. Has the craziest sticker collection I've ever seen by anybody. She told me, Roberto, work smart, not hard. And I've taken that into every single thing that I do. I'm just like, damn, like she made a valid point. And then I just like, you know, like I give that advice to people all the time, right? When I see them doing stuff where I'm like, dude, you're working way more harder than you need to. Look, this is what we got to do. This is what we're going to do. Boom, boom, boom. But yeah, man, I mean, it could be something small, something that maybe your dad told you one day about something, you know, something that maybe your wife told you about, you know what I'm saying? You know, if you can think of anything.
Say the question one more time.
What's a piece of advice that you've once received that you still hold close today?
I don't think none. I'll be honest, I don't think none, bro.
And that's cool, bro, because that kind of goes with like the rebelness of what you talked about earlier. Like somebody telling you, like, yeah, fuck off. You know what I'm saying? That's cool, bro.
Yeah, that's totally. Like I'm not really understood by many, man. So I feel like a lot of advice don't be
doesn't suit you or fit you. Okay, and that's an answer. Boom, none.
Yeah,
fuck yourself, pretty much.
Type shit. I feel like I'm always good advice. I feel like a lot of people don't give me good advice.
Okay, well, I'll give you some good advice. Work smart, not hard.
I appreciate it.
So look, in 5 years, what's a personal milestone, big or small, that you'd love to look back on?
That I hope to happen in the next 5 years. Or something that I'm gonna look back from this day.
So in 5 years,
okay,
what's a personal milestone, right? Big or small, that you'd love to look back on?
Man, I really want to be nominated for a Grammy, a Emmy, or an Oscar. Like hella bad. Like me and my mom, like we used to practice in the mirror in the bathroom, like my speech.
What you would do when you got called up?
If what I would do, like hey, this would be my speech if I won a Oscar or Grammy
Oscar
or
goes to
type shit.
Okay.
Yeah,
what would it be for though? Like, what would you begin? Like, what specifically do you think?
I want to do like movies and shit too.
Movies,
I want to do movies. I do want to act. A little part of me feel like
let's make a Tubi movie.
I'm down.
Called Buffed Up 2
type shit. Well, it got to be 3 because Buffed Up 2 I think come out this year.
Okay,
They've been rolling.
I finally just watched Buffed Up a couple weeks ago with my fiance. I never watched it.
Classic.
I was cracking up, bro. Cash was in there all looking different.
Type shit. Oh God.
My fiance knew some of the people from there. I'm like, oh shit, I'm like, bro. A lot of kind of like it's like Grand Rapids, bro. Like we know people, right, from all types of different ventures and different types of parts of life. And like it's like the same out here in the city, bro. Like, people know each other from growing up, going to the same schools, all types of different shit, right? But yeah, bro, like I've always dreamed of being a movie writer, like Steven Spielberg, right? I remember watching like Back to the Future, right? Growing up, watching like Indiana Jones, and being like, dude, I want to create something like that. I actually have started a couple of different scripts for like ideas that I got like a note in my phone that's called $1 Million Ideas, and I got some crazy ideas for some movies. Actually, I'll share you one of the crazy movie things, right? I came up with if any one of you fuckers steal this idea, you're gonna see the villain in me come out, and then I'm gonna track you down and beat the shit out of you. So
me too.
and then we gonna film it. And turn it and sell it to True TV
type shit.
But or Vlad TV. But
shout out them motherfuckers over there. Man.
Yeah, them boys is wild. But so the idea for the movie concept, it would be a movie called 6 Inches. Right? Just off top, without diving into it, what do you think? Just when you hear me say 6 inches, what do you think?
I just had a sub from Subway, so I think of a 6-inch sub from Subway.
Hey yo,
type beat.
Okay, so pretty much the general idea of the movie would be, it would go around 2 specific characters, right? A guy and a girl, right? One girl on one side of the world, a guy on the other side of the world, right? The guy's perspective. Dude that's 5'9", which is my height. He would they would show him like, like going to go do like a layup and getting his shit just blocked. You know what I'm saying? They would show him just like smaller shoot. You know what I'm saying? Just a bunch of different shit. And you're like, damn, man, like only if he was taller. And then out of nowhere the dude goes to sleep, wakes up the next day kind of like taller. Like Peter Parker with powers. He wakes up and he's 6 inches taller without
17 again type shit.
Without any type of explanation. Like there's like, and obviously none of his clothes fits him anymore. Shoe size changed.
Type shit.
People are gonna notice that shit, bro. Like if I grew 6 inches in height, it would be very noticeable. People would be like, what the fuck? Like, how did you have a growth spurt, right? Which was uncommon at that type of growth spurt, especially like, I would make it so that he's older.
Oh, it's definitely a late age for sure.
It wouldn't be like something like a teen. It'd be like 30, mid 30s, early 30s type of shit. And it would be like, it would show his life changing for the better. All of a sudden, you see him dunking a basketball, like women, oh, he's tall, this and that. It would be like, you would see all the limelight, like, oh, shit, obviously this and that. And then you got this girl on the other side of the world, loves her height, right? Happy as hell, can wear little kid shoes. Women love wearing little kid shoes or like 6.5Y and 7Y or shit like that. So it would,
I just got my wife some 7Ys.
Oh, shit.
Funny story is that I didn't know. I was getting her some shoes for Christmas. And I was like, yeah, you know, they had the Panda Dunks in there for mad cheap. She should be fucking up shoes. So I just, you know, get her some cheap shit. You know, some shit I know she gonna fuck up. She actually been doing pretty good, probably because I be on her ass. And I was like, yeah, give me these. And she was like, you know, you can save $20 if you just get that same size in a Y. I was like, damn, that they the same. She's like, yeah, they the same.
I can't believe you don't remember that from like working at Nike.
Don't,
and like
bro. I
different
don't.
size. It's like a size and a half down or something.
Now, only thing I gotta worry about
is
is 8.5 women, and then or 8 in women. I don't think I gotta worry about is 8 in women and a 12 in men's. That's me. So I used to. What'd you say? 8.5, 9. Yeah, no. Let me check the app. Let me see if it's on there. Well, yeah. But go ahead, though,
pretty much. You know, she would be happy with her clothes that fits her shoe size. Just, you know, being fun size. She wakes up the next fucking day. No, she's 6'4".
Oh. Damn, sorry, my dirty mind.
Hey, yo. But nah, she would wake up 6'4".
Damn.
You know, like, cause you know, they both were 5'9".
Type shit.
He goes to 6'4", you know, brute, this and that, cool, right? She's 6'4", like. And I remember I told my fiance, cause our niece is gonna be tall. We can already just tell. And she was like, "Oh, poor baby." I'm like, "Why are you saying poor baby?" I was like, "She can be a fucking volleyball star, a hooper, like, you know." Granted, she might be tall, but I was just like, you know, I would use my fiance's brain to like all the stuff that would happen for that particular person. They would like just, damn, you know, like ever seen those movies of Adam Sandler? That's a huge bitch, you know what I'm saying? Something like that. It'd be like, but it would be like two different opposites. Him, amazing. Her, nightmare, right? And obviously, you know, you could go different ways with it, right? Like, you know, and then he's thinking like this is the only, like, he's like, man, I'm the only person in the world, this and that, and then she's thinking like, I'm the only person in the world that this should happen. And I would make it in the sense where like the internet wouldn't be such a big thing, so it wouldn't be something that could just get put on like Twitter and find out. You would have to like actual news broadcast reporter. Here we're live outside of, or something. You know, obviously, you know, it could go many different ways, right? It could turn into a love story. It could turn into like whatever you really want it to be, and showing like the good and bad and the difference of like, damn, look what 6 inches can do to somebody, right? You know, and yeah, it would just be like a concept like that where it would just be like, damn, like, you know, and maybe they would like find out what happened, or we can make it go crazy, like some shit like Umbrella Corporation or some shit. Be like, we're trying to get your DNA to make crossbreed a gorilla with a shark that has razor claws, you know, some wild shit that happens in the game. And it would just be like, you know, you know, maybe like some Cinderella shit, like they find the potion or some shit to like, or the glass slipper that get them back, or maybe they find love with each other. I haven't really wrote deep into it. I just got like just the basic concept, like 6 inches, someone grows 6 inches, this and that. I've asked people that story many times. They're like, I was like, what's your first thought? And they'd be like, well, something sexual or something wild. I was like, no, man, it's just, you know, they both grow 6 inches overnight. Scientists don't know what the fuck is going on. Like, they don't know if it's reversible, this and that. Like, it just shows the impact that it would have, like, on each person in different ways. Like, how the impact would be for a guy, right? And how the impact would be for a girl. And then we would kind of just balance that out. But yeah, that's just a random like thing I wanted to share with you because you were talking about the Grammys, and I'm not the Grammys, but yeah, the Oscars, Grammys, all that type of stuff. But no, definitely cinematography is definitely one of my next ventures. I would love to like direct some shit, like a short film, a short movie. I got some crazy ideas, right? That's just one of them, right? But even then, like that, you need a team of people. You can't do it by yourself, right?
Yeah,
production crew.
I can start off with
you can something small, but you know, it just, you know, a dude holding the boom microphone like this, like, you know, a fucking camera. You know, that they be having like the camera rig connected to the. I just recently seen something, or what were you filming?
Oh,
where you almost got hit with some shit, or like the girl was throwing the shit off the
type shit.
That was in Miami, right?
I had to clean the fucking shit off for sure. I was doing a show called Deja Vu on Now That's TV, and that was like one of like the scenes, like when they was fighting in the house. I had just got back from like like some kind of like
Like a reality show.
It was reality. It's a
Okay.
reality show. And they was doing, I don't know, the girls that came back from. We didn't. I was a part of the crew that didn't go to that boat ride. Unfortunately, but fortunately, because we got to go to we had lunch on the beach. It was like, man, cool. But we came back to the house. They was fighting because they was arguing on one of the boats. It was crash, bro. Reality TV.
And do you think
It's
people would just
so
be extra
great.
for the likes and the looks
Bruh.
and the clicks, or they just be? Because I was
Reality
about that
TV.
shit. It should be staged. I feel like sometimes, or most.
You might have to probably have to cut this part out.
Watching like Flavor of Love and all this bullshit, bro.
Yeah, but you knew. But I just feel like it was still some kind of
some type of
small bit of authentic. No,
nah, you seen it from behind
like,
the scenes. Nah, bro. I've always known that shit to be not truthful as truthful, right? Because like I forgot some show that my fiance was watching recently where one of her friends was actually on there. Not one of the main characters, but like their friend was on. It was like a black love like dating show out here in Detroit. And the girl that was one of the contestants on there trying to date and find love, well, her best friend is one of my fiance's closest friends and one of her sorority sisters. So it was like, we was watching. I'm like, what are you watching? She was like, this show. And I'm like, and it's just like the dudes there was this one dude on the show, bro. He just had like, you could tell he had the spray on, and he just looked too much. Every time I seen this dude, he's wearing fucking
clean cut,
like fucking minks and this and that. It's just doing the most, bro. And I'm like, I told her, I was like, and this is just me being, I was like, look, man, I'm not saying he's gay, but I think he's gay. I wouldn't shock me if some crazy shit came back later about that dude. Like, bro, he was totally blowing dudes backstage, like, some wild shit. But like, that's neither here or there. But yeah, bro, that's how I feel about some shit. Just, bro, because, bro, I've seen shit, bro.
Type shit.
I've seen. I'm not gonna say no names of who I've seen, but bro, I was at a ASAP Rocky came to Grand Rapids, right? And was there with the ASAP mob, right? And I remember their road manager came to a particular promoter friend of mine. You guys probably can know who this promoter is, but I'm not going to say his name. We actually talked about him earlier. And pretty much went to the promoter, but it was like, hey, man, you got any girls, anybody that want to come backstage? He was like, but just make sure it ain't nobody you fucking with. He was like, because they smacking them hoes. They running through them hoes, and we don't want no hard feelings between y'all. And I'm just like, and I remember just being back there just smoking because we knew some people that was cool with ASAP Mob. So we back there just chilling and smoking. And, bro, the groupies came back there, bro, and they was trying to get on my head. And I'm like, I ain't nobody. I'm just chilling back here because I'm a DJ and I know the connects. I'm back here.
Yeah,
but just
anything close,
bro. And it was like baffling seeing that, like, man, like, but I also see why a lot of motherfuckers get caught up in bullshit
for sure.
and get catch cases or have baby mamas or this and that and on child support. Bro, we live in a simulation, guys.
Type shit.
Every once in a while, this simulation will like break out and freak out. But like some of the shit I be seeing is like, ain't no way this shit is real. But it is. It is. Right? I see it on Twitter. I see crazy shit, bro. And it's just like, dude, we just live in a crazy world. And I'm grateful for the people that are solid and that I've met, like you, my dog. I appreciate you, Los. You always been 100. You always been someone that, I've always looked at like, yo, Los is doing his thing, right? It's always been an honor to be able to be like, yo, I know that person, right? I'm cool. That's my boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've always showed love, right? Before I went on my internship, I remember you came out here. You came and visited. We met up at the spot downtown.
I had to.
And it's just like, yeah. That's that first time I believe I met her. And then afterwards, obviously, when I came and shot that episode with you and Brendan, when I was blowed as hell, I literally took a break from smoking. And then I happened to go hang out with Omega right before Bad influence. And like, usually, we smoke like one, but like there was people at his crib and they was just rolling up and I couldn't say no. And I just remember just getting over there and just being fried. And actually, I watched that interview recently because I was showing it to somebody and we was just cracking up watching it. I was like, yeah, bro, you was definitely fried. I'm like, oh, I was
shit.
definitely fried. But yeah, bro, I appreciate you coming through, bro. You know, next time you're obviously in the city for something, hit your boy up, bro. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
When I'm in GR, obviously I hit you up. You know, like I said, I'll be out there for the 18th for that show.
Bro, 18th, man.
And then, you know, obviously the thing that we're gonna bleep out or cut out.
Come visit us
you know what I'm saying? Come visit y'all there, and you know,
in
turn
a
up with you.
different state.
Yeah, different state. We're not gonna say where because it's a secret. Even though we kind of already talked about it before, but we're gonna cut all that shit out. Probably cut out a piece of this, but you know, we'll see. I'm definitely gonna, you know, finesse the post production, which is my favorite part of this. But other than that, you know, concludes another episode of Conversations with Roberto. I always leave with this particular quote: "Suck it easy." Peace.